So when you had the spring and when you had this force, which was the deforming force, so the natural length of the spring was like this. You applied a force. Which force now? Can you tell me which force? This is the external force, so this will be a deforming force. So once you applied a force, it got deformed, it got extended, and then the moment this is removed, it goes back to its initial condition. And this property of resisting deformation, or this property, all right, of getting back to its initial configuration once being deformed, is called as elasticity. Is called as what? Elasticity. So the property of a body, and that is why mechanical property of matter, all right. So the property of the body by virtue of which it tends to regain its original shape and size or configuration, all right, when the applied force is removed, is known as elasticity. I hope you got it. Yes? Are you clear with this? Easy? So the tendency or the property that is there in the body, such that once this deforming force is removed, it regains back its original configuration. This property is called as elasticity. Simple, plain and simple. Next question could be, sir, why is there elasticity? Why does elasticity exist? Very good question. It's a very valid question. Why does a body tends to go back to its initial condition? Even if I compress it or I expand it, it tends to go back to its initial configuration. Why does that happen? Well, the reason that happens is because you can imagine that inside there will be all these molecules. And between these molecules, there would be forces. And if you see the illustration in your NCERT book, a beautiful illustration has been given showing you all the molecules in connection like a spring. So if you try to compress the spring, then also the spring will try to come back to its normal condition. If you try to extend it, then also it will try to come back to its initial condition, correct? So in this case, there exists an intermolecular force between all these molecules that you see, okay? So when they are arranged, when they are aligned and it is at natural length, any material is at natural length, there is a minimum distance, sufficient distance, and this distance is called as interatomic distance or intermolecular distance, all right? All these are chemistry terms, but I hope you understand that, right? So between two atoms, there is sufficient space, and this space is called as interatomic distance. Now, what happens? Once you try to extend it, there is always a force of attraction which is acting, correct? So they will try to come back to its initial condition. And the most important part which is played is that of energy. So what happens if you look at a graph, and you must have seen this kind of a graph. So graph of potential energy versus R, the graph something looks like this, something like this. Just drawing a rough graph, something like this, all right? Where this is your potential energy and this is your R, where R is the distance between two subsequent atoms, two consecutive atoms, all right? So when you see, this is the point of minimum potential energy, correct? And this value we call it as R naught. R naught is the distance between two atoms, okay, at natural length. Now you think about it. If you try to decrease the value of R naught, you're increasing the value of potential energy. And if you're increasing the value of potential energy, then it becomes unstable. So what will be its natural tendency? To come back to R naught. So if you compress a material, like this, if you compress it like this and you leave it, it tends to come back to its initial condition. See, why? Why did this happen? Because when you moved up to this point, this is not equal to R naught. At the value R naught, where R naught is the distance between two molecules or two atoms, it is more stable. If you try to disturb that stability, that's a problem, because over here you see the potential energy is positive, this is all negative. And if you try to extend it over here, if you try to extend it and you take a value of R naught, which means you have increased the distance between two atoms, then also it becomes unstable. So again, it will try to come back to its initial condition. So you might be saying, sir, will that happen forever? Can a material regain its shape forever? No, my dear friend. No, it cannot. There is a limit. There is a particular limit to which the body will come back to its initial condition. If you cross that limit, then there will be a permanent deformation, and then we call this as a plastic deformation. For example, the deformation of this nail in my hand. So you see, I used a plier and I applied so much force that it went beyond that limit. Okay, and once I went beyond that limit, it can never regain back its original shape. You see, it's kind of weird shape, but yeah, it's fine. Okay, so this is a plastic deformation. There is a permanent deformity now in the particular material, and it can never come back to its initial condition. All right, which means that there is a certain limit to which you can compress or extend a body such that on removal of the deforming force, the restoring force will be enough to get it back to its initial condition. Once you cross that limit, you can never come back. All right, okay, this is simple. So in that case, those material, or we say that it is plastic. So when you apply a force, you can see that there is an extension, and if it is beyond the limit, then we say that this deformity will never go away. All right, so there will be a constant deformation like that. All right, very simple. So the property of a body by virtue of which it does not regain its original size and shape when the applied force is removed is known as plasticity. So this is known as plasticity. It's simple, it's easy. Did you understand? So till a point, it is elastic, and the property to regain its shape is called as elasticity. But beyond the point, if you apply a force, so much force, such that you have caused a permanent deformation, all right, it can never go back to its initial condition, and then we call this property as plasticity. Now let's quickly watch a video in which there is a small deformation of a spring. So you have a spring and you deform it slightly, you apply a force and you see that it goes back to its initial condition. But once you have crossed the limit, I have the previous picture and the picture when I crossed the limit and I went from the elastic towards the plastic, where I applied so much of deforming force such that the spring actually got permanently deformed. And you see in the second case, which is in this case, you're sure that it's never going to go back to its initial condition. All right, so there is a limit to it, where if you remove the deforming force, will the body return back or not?